Tonight, nothing could comfort her as her a million things were racing through my mind. Darker ones, yet the brilliant lights flared across the city, creating a spooky shine in the horizon as Joseline Hernandez took brisk steps in her lavish but deserted mansion. The pricey furnishings and artwork that were used to decorate her homeroom's walls were covered in testaments. Joelle's success had made her life seem a few days before to be doing well with a profession, a daughter, and a man with helped her through everything. But the information she had just learnt fully integrated her reality with the producer with whom she was romantically involved. Relationship had supported her, but everything it takes to support her in her all efforts, and even sharing updates on grieving regarding their private lives on social media. In spite of their affection for one another, their relationship was not at all perfect. She couldn't have been prepared for the tragic news. In spite of doubts with murmurs of stress and doubt regarding their relationship, something had unexpectedly showed up late one night like a bolt of lightning. Slim was acting in a way that she had completed many times prior to scrolling using her mobile device when a text message surprisingly showed that it wasn't from Ballistic, a buddy, or even a stranger source. It was only the tragic truth regarding Ballistic's younger girlfriend is pregnant. Regardless of how often she read the words, her hands shook as if she may will the message to disappear in some way. But the terrible truth remained the same. Her man had acquired a new woman, pregnant by a younger person. She was unaware of the existence of the very concept put her into a tailspin. The notion that he had hidden the lies and concealment that had evolved from her between them was what gave the impression that the betrayal was a kick to the abdomen, because Joseline had consistently respected integrity, loyalty, and this was a violation of the three. How was it possible for him to attack the man that evening? Was silent save for the sound of panic, of her own respiration, and she sensed the anger that was growing inside her chest, rage she hadn't experienced in a while, as images of the man flashed through her head. She had made all of her promises and have deceived her in this manner, causing only her rage increased hourly, and her social posts in the media were full of mysterious communications that essentially yelled out of she would confront him about betrayal. Words cause havoc and force him to pay for the betrayal wasn't limited to it was about her pride and trust child, and she was experiencing an internal heart storm. Struggle since she was unable to regulate her feelings because the something profound had been ignited by betrayal. She had primal and raw within herself, always had the freedom to voice her thoughts. However, she would be more forthright tonight and strong in her speech. She sat down to confront him and obtain answers. On her stuffed animal in her personal space, her hands were shaking with emotion when she called him after finally hitting send. Ballistic's on the opposite end of the line voice sounded aloof, almost unaware of on the opposite side. The storm was brewing while she gazed at the phone while sitting on the couch, in her hand, seemingly in the hopes that in some way calling him would make everything clear. However, how could anything make it better? To be Ballistic, you do this. Her voice screamed into the phone, trembling with rage and pain. After everything that we have experienced, after what I did for you, you have a whole nother girl became pregnant. After learning of his voice, it already seemed like a slap to her. Heartbreak, given that there was a long pause before he responded. But his remarks did little to calm the angry inside her. He tried to "I'm sorry and I'll explain." But Joseline couldn't comprehend the secrets and lies. Her refusal to acknowledge the betrayal was overwhelming. "I should have understood that you were playing games all the time." And after the call ended, this baby, Joseline reclined as the burden of the globe on her shoulders, understanding that now that there was no turning back, the betrayal had come to light. Wasn't only about an error, it was also about betrayed confidence regarding their future. Had once envisioned their collapse together. There would never be the before her eyes same issue. Following years of intense, the woman's love now had to confront the disagreeable fact that the relationship ended, but the harm persisted. Would continue. She smells like someone in mop water. Must inform Blay about the JN position. Alright, now let me tell you all about that, regardless of their preference, since I simply believe that you must take notice. I kept my words to myself because when my money is at stake, I know how to. When my money is on the line, hold water. Okay. Line, I am aware that's when I am able to. If you don't want me to tell, hold water. Your company, you must provide me with a verify and advise me not to divulge my business. Alright, so what had transpired was I struck a tender area. I accidentally touched a tender region since I believed she was cute, and initially I was just having fun. Have nothing but you against her. If you look closely, she was throwing I dislike small subliminals. Individuals to treat me in such a way that I don't know how to remain silent and act like I'm not sure how to perform the fake. Get to the point. What are you talking about? I touched a tender spot and she didn't enjoy it. since she mentioned the criminals and they left it out, so I suppose that's what she desired. However, perhaps she ought to have allowed the entire event transpired, and it appeared as though I only came to get her, but she became irate regarding the evildoers or attempted to put them in somehow. It wasn't in there at all. I had a lot of folks on the set. Who told me what had happened to that? That's the bit that caused you all to leave. Departed, therefore she must have said, I said. Remove me, but that's what you know. What transpired when you met a small portion of stake in the business, but that's all right. I respect, I merely think that your underarms smell. I told her that, along with yours, but I haven't included that either, but that's exactly what it was her. I understand that's her network, and a couple years after I've spent some time there, perhaps we could play the really white dude stop me. I don't care. Refusing to put an end to stop Joseline's drama-filled world. Ballistic is what Hernandez and her supporters claim. Beats is getting completely out of control. Ballistic, often referred to as Robin and Duma, is said to have split from Jine and proceeded to have someone else talk about a plot twist. But wait, there's more juicy. Ballistic isn't keeping his motivations a secret. For the split, based on rumors that he criticized Joseline for her filth and smelling, to put it politely. But we're not certain if there is any truth to such assertions, but in reality, Joseline's individual claims have been the focus of focus prior to. She has already been the object of a number of individuals, including Carissa, who have made the same accusations against. It's challenging for her to do that. Recognize that the situation is serious and that you can all definitely be following how this narrative unfolds. Produces odors, she has a mop-like scent, water, and someone must let her know. Back in the Ballistic, a gifted Joseline and the producer not only worked together to create, but also turned into well-known reality TV personalities when they made their official Instagram accounts in April 2019 seem to be picture perfect. Love and a beautiful story similar to Joseline's set Miami Marriage Boot Camp, hip-hop, and that year, by September, they were participated in a sentimental birthday post. Joseline exclaimed that he was the most adorable man and requested that he spend the remainder of She Is the Problem in his natural life with her. Has significantly deteriorated, and Ballistic is allegedly moving now, blowing about and on Joseline's dirty. Whether these hygiene fees applied to laundry are accurate or not, this is a literal escalating into a major drama if the separation hasn't revealed anything else. Attracted notice, and let's be honest, Joseline needs to tidy up her behavior as well, both physically and additionally, symbolically. If anyone thinks they can visit for a drink and receive get rid of it, they must be living in or discussing the same Joseline that encountered against armed law enforcement officials and endured to share the tale. So that's the level of intensity for which we are here under a everyone knows rock, including their mother, that Joseline is not a CIS player, and as if you're breathing at all, toss your hands quickly, unfairly in her direction, since it's not just Carissa who spills the tea. Regarding Joseline's purported funk, some have been discussing Miss Jan's scent circumstance for some time, which demonstrates that Carla's genuinely thought she could drag Jan's cleanliness in the dirt and steer clear of don't get caught during the hottest moment. Misunderstand, let's all be honest, cannot continue to tell the same falsehood. Consequently, this entire stanky CSA kicked. I'm not claiming that Carissa was correct, because being disorganized, but maybe Joseline can think about a few remedies instead of bows being thrown whenever someone makes an implication that you were able to feel the stress like a kettle cooking. As soon as Joseline a few days ago, I put it in the air while she appeared as a guest on the Anti podcast, which Tokyo hosted. You guessed it, Carissa herself, Tony T. Joseline wasn't being as reserved as she CIS intervened as they were about to lose it. Carissa is being called a sour old by full force woman and blatantly accusing her of jealousy, as opposed to Carissa's Jen is at least 20 years old in dusty dreams, younger, and possesses invoices for the days when the real twist was when Joseline kept brag that she was earning millions of dollars of money to Zeus Network and generating renowned young women, whilst Carissa's son Joseline called as he was sitting upright in jail. Out as she twisted the blade, Joel, the baby, pretended that it was a family get-together, and Carissa simply sat there, absorbing everything, on her chin without flinching, like a pro or relocating. This battle is simply getting began, and I'm giggling at her nonstop. Her inability to dress and her amusing breath to preserve her life and eagerly observe how it perhaps. We've grown too much for this, respects people's rights and boundaries. And she, and I'm saying that, people must learn to treat one another with respect. The aunts and the others are fine. You came out here, and I was respectful, anticipating your arrival here. As on all set to leave, I brought you flowers. Gave you a present, and then you received this. An elderly, crusty woman is sitting up here and talking. Hold on, auntie. She's really disrespectful. I brought gifts with me. I still haven't given you the presents. I bring you flowers when I got out. Here, I want to thank you and congratulate you on you understand how much it means to have me. Do you know how much money I made on Sue Network? Was your daughter's exterior that she is the only person outside of me that didn't do, girl, but feel free to show, of course. Come on, like she can't speak to me in that manner. This is what I've done out of respect. Many things in the industry that we haven't heard about of her sitting up and doing nothing here. She is sitting up and not waiting. I'm 20 years old and jealous of a younger person. Your junior, unwind for 30 minutes. Why? You're drinking tea and doing all of stuff. Maintain your cuteness because I treat young women with dignity. I had no opportunities, no one instructing me on what to do. I put my women to work. They embark on a prosperous tour. My __ is embarking on a prosperous. I feel the need to visit every season because this is every time we were successful, we were packed. The interview went viral and she really did have it because she lacked the courage to examine Joseline during the interview in person as she was somewhat vocal, yet behind Joseline was charged for possessing a weird Carlos's couplet, everything hang out, and on the screen. She heard her voice, indicating that Joseline allegedly compelled the producers to cut certain parts of the interview in order for it to seem as. However, Carissa was unexpectedly chasing her, and she currently possesses this. As per Carissa, as soon as Joseline entered at first, everyone was in that crazy room, believed that it was a cameraman who just had no idea what soap was in the air due to the aroma, yet it was a minute later. It was clear that the odor was still coming straight from. You are aware of Joseline's private zone. The shade was authentic, but it's not yet finished, so have some popcorn. When the drama is getting more intense, on considering the JN scenario, I'm going to tell you guys about that, if they like it or not. Since I just believe it's essential, as you can see, I didn't say a lot because you are aware of when my money is on, I am capable of holding water in the queue. Alright, I know when my money is at stake, I can retain water at that point. If you do not want me to divulge your private information, you must check me and let me know. Please don't discuss my business. So what had occurred? Did I strike a tender spot? I accidentally touched a tender region since I believed she was cute, and initially I was just having fun. Have nothing but you against her. If you look closely, she was throwing I dislike small subliminals. Individuals to treat me in such a way that I don't know how to remain silent and act like I'm not sure how to perform the fake. Get to the point. What are you talking about? I touched a tender spot and she didn't enjoy it, since she mentioned the criminals and they left it out, so I suppose that's what she desired. However, perhaps she ought to have allowed the entire event transpired, and it appeared as though I only came to get her, but she became irate regarding the evildoers or attempted to put them in somehow. It wasn't in there at all. I had a lot of folks on the set who told me what had happened to that. That's the bit that caused you all to leave. Gone, therefore it's likely that she stated. I replied, take me out. But that's you anyhow. Understand what transpired when you received a small portion of stake in the business. But that's all right. I respect. I merely think that your underarms smell. I informed her that you're stin, but I haven't included that either, but that's exactly what it was her. I understand that's her network, and a couple years after I've spent some time there, perhaps we could play the actual my lord. Isn't nobody damn fine? I asked. I smelt this. Funky, I said to myself. Come on. There are a lot of men in here, baby. Everyone believes it's examining each the other is her. We could all smell her. As Tia, no Tia SM believed it to be Tokyo, but it was Tia because Tokyo doesn't appear to have gone to the I don't give a damn about the dentist. No one claims that mom has never been interested in the I'll wager that if we ask the dentist, she's going to tell you now, dentist. There isn't a dentist, Allah. Accessible girl, well, Jacine will give it a shot. Must admit that knowing I was her made my breath smell bad. Mothers and your own underarms, this is the rule you instinctively follow. Lit up the streets. According to some, Carissa should have continued to identical vigor when seating opposite Joseline instead of waiting for an internet launch. If have you ever spent time with Joseline? Are conscious of this, yet it's not the case because according to Joseline, she doesn't use deodorant for environmental reasons. Consequently, I believe that you are humiliated. Her since she is already aware of what alongside Carissa. Another person said, oh, but quit watching the show's replay. Carissa's blanking and the drama appearing strange to others warned everyone right away that this was not Joseline's first accusation. of possessing a very peculiar smell and, as stated, the train would not be halting quickly and started dragging her around again. Others proposed that rather than swinging on gelling, one could look up some tips for personal hygiene. Carlos was unable to abandon her tiny funk problem by itself, so she was feeling quite courageous and slid into the Carlos's words were really increasing the drama by making accusations Joseline of possessing a BBL, in addition to do you not have enough of everything else. They're getting these balls, girl. Forgetting that the first time they had fun, she kept attempting to wring as much as possible from the reported hygienic issues within 20 Chelen took to the streets when Michelle, Jin, and Kay were at odds. Decided to use her petty bag to get low, bringing up the embarrassing moment in which Kay it was said that Michelle had a stench. Uncle Mura, a rapper, has a problem. Proceeded to suggest a few drugs and organic remedies Kay Michelle may utilize to address that mood. Have you heard about? You've never heard of this, correct? That's what you need right here. Just perfect here. Hey, we're rising 28 days that you can obtain. That is going to do it now.